It's 2025 already, and if you scroll through any social media platform, watch any streaming service, or walk past any movie theater, there's one face you're bound to see: Jenna Ortega. This 22-year-old actress has somehow managed to do what seemed impossible: unite millennials, Gen Z, and even boomers in admiration of her talent.
How Jenna Ortega? How is Jenna Ortega? It's been a long time since someone asked me that.
But how did a young girl from California's Coachella Valley become the face of a generation? Let's rewind the clock. Back in 2002, when flip phones were cool and social media didn't exist, Jenna Marie Ortega was born into a world that looked nothing like the one she'd eventually conquer. The fourth of 6 children in a Mexican-Puerto Rican family, Jenna's story isn't your typical Hollywood tale of privilege and connections. Instead, it's a story of raw talent, determination, and perfect timing. You see, most people think Jenna's success happened overnight with Wednesday, but that's not even close to the truth. While other kids were playing at recess, 6-year-old Jenna was already telling her mom she wanted to be an actress. Not just as a passing phase, like wanting to be an astronaut or a veterinarian, but with the kind of conviction that makes parents pause and think, maybe she means it. And mean it she did. By age 8, Jenna was going to auditions. Think about that. While most 8-year-olds were struggling to decide what to wear to school, Jenna was already treating acting like a full-time job. But here's where it gets interesting. Unlike many child actors who get their big break right away, Jenna's path was more like climbing a very long ladder, one small role at a time. Her first real breakthrough came with Jane the Virgin in 2014. Jenna played young Jane in flashback scenes, which meant she had to capture the essence of Gina Rodriguez's character perfectly. No pressure, right? But let's talk about what really set Jenna apart from other child actors. While many young stars get stuck in the Disney Channel bubble, never to be taken seriously again, Jenna did something different. Yes, she had her Disney show, Stuck in the Middle, where she played Harley Diaz, the middle child of 7 kids. But while she was doing that, she was also taking on darker, more complex roles. In 2019, Jenna landed a role in Netflix's You, playing Ellie Alves. This wasn't your typical teen role. Ellie was street smart, complicated, and caught up in some seriously dark storylines. While other Disney stars were trying to break free from their child actor image by going the rebel route, Jenna was building a bridge between young audience favorites and serious acting. But the real game changer came in 2022. This was the year everything exploded for Jenna. And when I say exploded, I mean it literally changed the entire trajectory of her career. First, she appeared in Scream, joining an iconic horror franchise that's been terrifying audiences since before she was born. Then came X, an A24 horror film that proved she could handle mature, complex material with the skill of a veteran actor. And then came Wednesday. Now, let's be clear about something. Taking on a character as iconic as Wednesday Addams is like walking into a minefield. One wrong move, and boom, your career could be over. The role had been perfectly portrayed by Christina Ricci in the 90s, and fans are notoriously protective of the Addams family characters. The pressure was intense. Imagine having to reimagine a character that people have loved for decades, all while knowing that Christina Ricci herself would be watching, since she was also cast in the show. The stakes were astronomical. Tim Burton, the king of gothic aesthetics himself, was directing. Netflix had invested heavily in the project, and social media was skeptical. Could anyone really fill those braided shoes? Not content with putting that kind of pressure above her, she was also facing the pressure of carrying an entire series on her shoulders at just 19 years old. But, surprise, instead of trying to copy what came before, Jenna did something incredibly bold. She took Wednesday Addams and made her her own. She studied the original character for months, perfecting that deadpan stare and developing her own version of Wednesday's walk. She even learned to blink less during scenes. That's the level of detail we're talking about. She brought a fresh energy to the role while keeping Wednesday's essential darkness. But Jenna didn't just step into Wednesday's shoes. She completely reimagined them. And boom, success. Wednesday became Netflix's 3rd most watched show globally, with over 1.24 billion hours viewed. Jenna's Wednesday became a cultural phenomenon, and nothing exemplifies this better than the now legendary dance scene. Jenna choreographed it herself. When she first got the script, the scene simply said, "Wednesday dances." That's it. No detailed choreography, no specific moves, just those 2 words. Instead of waiting for direction, Jenna took matters into her own hands. She spent days watching footage of goths dancing in clubs from the 80s, studying the moves of Susie Sue, and drawing inspiration from old footage of Lisa Loring's Wednesday Addams dance from the original series.
That, I just kind of pulled from whatever I could. I realized 2 nights before I've really got to throw something together, and I watched a lot of Fosse. I watched videos of goth clubs in the 80s. I watched Susie and the Banshees because she was a reference made, Lena Lovitch.
And she did all this while battling COVID. She was taking medication between takes, her body aching, but you'd never know it watching the final product. That's the level of commitment we're talking about. The result? A perfectly weird, perfectly Wednesday dance that somehow manages to be both completely unhinged and absolutely mesmerizing. The dance exploded on TikTok, spawning millions of recreations. Her deadpan delivery of lines became instant memes. Even Lady Gaga got in on the trend, recreating the dance to her own song Bloody Mary, which wasn't even the song used in the show. That was Goo Goo Muck by the Cramps. So it's fair to say that she didn't just play Wednesday, she made the character relevant for a whole new generation. And by doing that, she somehow managed to become everybody's favorite actress. Some people probably remember her as that sweet kid from the Disney Channel, while your horror-obsessed friend won't shut up about her performances in Screamin' X. Meanwhile, teens can't get enough of her Wednesday sass, and film critics are writing these long, serious articles about her acting chops. When was the last time you saw someone pull that off? In a world where most actors get stuck in their lane, either you're a Disney star, comedy star, or you're a serious actor, Jenna's out here collecting fans from every corner of the entertainment world. In 2024, Jenna Ortega took on another iconic role that proved her versatility and cemented her status as Hollywood's new gothic queen, Astrid Dietz in Beetlejuice 2. While Wednesday Addams was all about controlled darkness and deadpan delivery, Astrid Dietz required something completely different. Yet, Jenna slipped into the role with the same natural ease that made her Wednesday performance so memorable. Look, putting a 21-year-old actress in a room with Michael Keaton, Catherine O'Hara, and Winona Ryder is like throwing someone into the deep end of the acting pool. These are people who've been perfecting their craft since before Jenna was born. But here's what's crazy. She didn't just swim, she soared. There's this scene where she goes toe-to-toe with Keaton's Beetlejuice, and you completely forget you're watching someone who grew up watching these actors on TV. Tim Burton, who's basically the king of all things weird and wonderful, saw this coming from a mile away. After working with Jenna on Wednesday, he knew she had that special something, that X factor that you can't teach. You know how some actors just put on dark makeup and call themselves gothic? That's not Jenna. When she steps into these darker roles, it's like watching someone slip into their favorite pair of boots. It just fits. There's no trying, no forcing it. Whether she's rolling her eyes as Wednesday Addams or bringing Astrid Dietz to life, she makes you believe in these strange, beautiful characters she creates. In fact, what's particularly interesting is how Jenna's become synonymous with this new wave of gothic entertainment without ever trying to force it. There's something effortlessly cool about how she approaches these roles. It's not about putting on black lipstick and calling it a day. It's about understanding the depth and complexity of these characters, and maybe life in general. Because just look at her red carpet evolution. While other celebrities are trying to figure out what's trending, Jenna's out here turning heads in these incredible all-black ensembles, vintage-inspired pieces, and edgy designs that somehow look both classic and completely modern. Whether she's rocking a dramatic black veil, sporting gothic-inspired makeup, or playing with darker fashion elements, it never feels like a costume. It's just Jenna. Even when she's in a full glam moment, there's always this subtle edge to it, this darkness that feels completely natural. Jenna embodies this aesthetic from the inside out. She understands these characters, their complexity, their darkness, and their appeal, because in many ways, it's just an extension of who she is. And then came the Sabrina Carpenter video, a moment that broke the internet so hard, it's still trying to recover. Now, if you haven't been paying attention, Sabrina was having her own massive moment in 2024. While Jenna was becoming the queen of all things dark and spooky, Sabrina was out there becoming pop's newest it girl. This tiny, blonde, sugar-sweet powerhouse who somehow managed to make Disney princess meets seductive pop star work. Seriously, imagine if Tinkerbell decided to start writing songs about her wild dating life, and you'll get the idea. So when these two forces collided in the music video for Taste, it was like watching the ultimate opposites attract moment. This isn't your typical pop video with pretty dresses and dancing. No, this is a full-on gothic horror that draws inspiration from Death Becomes Her. and Jenna Ortega is right in the middle of it all. It's Sabrina's bubblegum pink world crashing headfirst into Jenna's gothic universe, and somehow it works perfectly. This video is pure chaos in the best possible way. Jenna and Sabrina play rivals fighting over the same guy, but this isn't your typical catfight. We're talking Jenna with a shotgun, Sabrina getting set on fire, someone getting stabbed in the eye. It's gloriously over the top. And then comes that moment, the kiss that had social media in a complete meltdown. It's unexpected, it's bold, and it's exactly the kind of plot twist that keeps people talking.
Yeah, and she was just here. I was like, I just missed you.
Jenna Ortega.
Yeah.
So that's, I know.
Yeah.
It's fantastic, but I love that you did that.
Yeah.
The numbers don't lie. With over 144 million views, this video didn't just go viral, it provoked a cultural reset. Now, it's clear that Jenna Ortega's influence will continue to grow. She's not just riding the wave of success, she's actively shaping her career and legacy. With each new role, she continues to challenge herself and expand her range, proving that she's more than just a trending name or a temporary phenomenon. She is now Gen Z's biggest actress. She is the gothic it girl.